People of the verse, hello, welcome to this channel. This is the Eradicator, and today we are going to talk about some of the smuggling missions. Let's go to the personal tab, as you can see in the Moby Glass, and these missions are the delivery. Of course, I have to do the call to arms just in case. So we go to the personal tab here, and you have those grab and go here for over 15,000 Alpha UEC, 15,388 Alpha UEC per mission. It turns out that if you select your missions carefully, you usually have two pickups at Orient, which is a kind of a junkyard located on Hurston, and the drop-offs are both located at the orphanage, which is one of the stashes or drug labs on Lyria. So if you add those two missions together, you can easily make over 30,000 Alpha UEC. And a lot of people have been telling me that in the comments down below. In the previous video, when I was talking about a new moneymaker that people could find at the Govalex Gondo. And so I decided to try this double mission here to see if this was worth my time or not. And so obviously one of the things that you have to take under consideration when you are doing those pickups is that you can quantum travel directly to them. Usually those locations are pretty far from any other more legitimate locations. Let's just call them that way. And so you have no choice but to manually fly to these pickup places, which is what is happening here. And it turns out that it really takes quite a long time. So this is something that you have to be aware of. Personally, I don't mind the time. I think that I am quite happy to be in awe or to be able to gaze at those beautiful planets rendered thanks to the Planetech V4 introduced in Star Citizen Alpha 3.8. I'm always happy to see how beautiful Star Citizen is, but I can understand that most people would not be so interested in looking at how beautiful the game is. They want to play, they want to make money, and so for those people, this might not be the ideal type of mission. I was really surprised to see that there was another player, which is not surprising given how popular those missions are, apparently. So one thing that you have to take under consideration is that we're talking about smugglers, so it's always good to see what kind of ship we are having to deal with. Looks like this is a Cutlass Black here. You may always want to be careful because these players, we're of course doing a criminal activity here. This is a criminal mission, so these players are also criminals, and they are always potentially likely to kill you just because that's what they do. So there is also a sense of risk and danger when you do those missions that you don't necessarily have when you take more legitimate delivery missions. Now, those junkyards are a little bit less well equipped than regular outposts, and as you can also see that the drop box here is malfunctioning, but it is just aesthetics. The boxes will eventually open up for you, and you'll be able to take your package back to your ship, so that's not much of an issue. I just like the scenery here, which of course is much different than what we are usually used to when we go to regular trade outposts, and it's always nice to experience a change once in a while. Now, of course, then you have the quantum drive travel, which is always a little bit time consuming, especially if you are traveling between planets. In this case, it's only 22 million kilometers, so it's not that far. It could be worse, right? We have much longer distances, especially if we're going to Markotech. So this is not the worst. So one of the things that you can do here, once you arrive at your other destination, of course you won't be able to quantum travel directly to it, but what you can do is to try to maybe hop a little bit closer to it. So here you can see that the closest point that looks to be the closest from the orphanage was that security outpost. So I decided to travel there, and there doesn't seem to be any other orbital markers or this possible destination for my quantum drive. So once again, I'm going to have to travel all the way to the orphanage manually. So a quick tip here, especially if you are close to a planet, especially if you are over a moon or a planet that has a thick atmosphere, you may want to try to fly as high as possible, because if you get a little bit too low, then you are going to experience friction and it is going to slow your ship down. So that's not really ideal. So that's why I always recommend people to travel at least, let's say for example, if you're over a moon, try to be above 10 to 15 15,000 meters, and if you are above a planet like Hurston, try to be above at least 25,000 meters. That is going to allow you to go to much higher speed, and of course the faster you go, the quicker you can go to those delivery drop-offs or pickups. And so here we go. Here we are at our drop-off location, and we are going to be able to drop off our 2 boxes here at the orphanage, which is just basically a drug lab, a bit similar to what we have on Jobtown on Yela. Just trying to find a good place where I can land. Okay, the staircases are here. And you just drop them off here where they tell you to drop them off. There are no Kovalex boxes, obviously, so it's just a random location on a store. And there you can see here, contract complete, grab and go. I am now much richer. This package is not for me, but I just got paid here 15,388 Alpha UEC. Now, of course, the big question is, was it worth it? And for that, well, we are going to have to see how much time it took to get those 30,000 Alpha UEC. So this is the moment when I left Everest Albert, and we are into 1 hour and 4 minutes into the live stream. So next I'm going to see exactly the time when I completed the mission. And so here we are at 1 minute and 40 seconds. So it took me about 38 minutes to complete both deliveries here. 38 minutes for 30,000 Alpha UEC is actually, well, it depends. It depends on your situation in the verse. I was going to say it's not a lot. It depends. If you are a starting player, if you are a player who is not so rich, let's say you in your bank account you have 100, 200, let's say all the way to 5,000 Alpha UEC, then yes, this can be an interesting deal for you. If you are the type of player who has over 1 million Alpha UEC, which is my case here, 1.7 million, then no, it is obviously not worth the time at all. I could be making that much money by just trading scrap with a Caterpillar from let's say from any rest stop all the way to Port Orisar, and that would be less risky, and it will also be much faster. I could do 2 or 3 of these runs in just an hour and be making almost 100,000 Alpha UEC an hour. So it really depends on your situation. If are you a new player, are you broke, then yes, those missions are absolutely perfect, especially since they have now a double payment compared to what they used to pay before. But if you are a more experienced player, or at least a more seasoned player with a much more comfortable bank account, then no, this is something that I would not recommend. So it depends on your situation. It also depends on what you like to do in the game. It can be very boring and repetitive to grind training in the verse. It can also not work very well too. And annually flying to some more off the beaten paths location like the orphanage, for example, is a little bit of a challenge, and is a novelty that sometimes is appreciable. So that's what I had to say about this little smuggling experience, guys. But please tell me in the comments down below, is it something that you often do? Is it something that you only do if you are broke? Or is it something that you also do if you are bored? Please tell me in the chat down here. I want to know what your thoughts are about these specific types of missions. Don't forget that this month I am giving away an Origin 325A. This is for all of the people who hit that subscribe button and comment to any videos regarding Star Citizen posted this month. I'm also giving away a Pisces, thanks to the Matadors and General Aventador, who decided to step up and help this community. So that is pretty awesome. This is for all the people who support me on the crowdfunding website Patreon and who hit that join button. You guys are awesome, and I wanted to thank you for that. Thank you so much for watching again, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Star Citizen content. We'll talk about trade tomorrow. I hope you'll enjoy this video, and I hope you enjoy tomorrow's video as well. This is the Eradicator. I am signing out.